This is vlog 1 for for our Arduino robotic arm project. We decided on the team name of Cosmic Pickles, and I went through and I made a table for it of what we're gonna do. I went through all the assignments, and this week we hope to complete research brainstorming and then continue to look at the table as our timeline. But also I noticed as I was making the list that we're gonna have a lot of work to do, which not in like a oh I didn't think so, but more in a like we need to hurry up and like get ahead. Our other team member Hannah, she's doing something, so she's not in this video, but yeah.
Okay. This is week 3, alright? And our cameraman for all these videos is like, shut up. Hey,
Yo!
Stop it! We're vlogging right now. Okay, it's okay. We'll keep that. The base is right here. It's a big chunk of wood, and we accidentally stole it from Angel. I didn't know it was Angel's, but I feel so bad. Hey, she's right there.
Wait, you were Angel?
Yeah, apparently.
For what?
For why? For why? Oh. And then I made these sketches. Yeah.
This is definitely getting submitted.
Yeah, it is. I made these sketches, and the one that I ended up going with is.
She don't know. Is it in it?
Wait, no, it's this one.
That one.
Yeah, this one, because it's more robot army. So I'm gonna have 4 servos. I'm gonna have one here, one here, one here, and then one here. What?
What are we?
The pickle.
Cosmic Pickles.
Yeah, Cosmic Pickles. Yeah. This one, because it's flexible, it's arm-like, it's really realistic. And I said reach around obstacles. Honestly, I don't know what I'm gonna have it do yet, but yeah. The only thing I'm worried about is this right here, the programming. But I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna learn some coding because I'm actually interested in it. I just haven't learned it yet, but it's okay. And then we have our idea. This is a beautiful drawing. So this is the base, and then this is a servo. This is the arm. So these, I actually got Mr. Freddy to print our things. This is what the arms look like so far. I'm gonna glue more walls, but for now, it has enough space for the servos to enter. So it's gonna be like base here, and then a servo down here, and it'll like rotate, hopefully, and then like, you know, like that. You see the vision? Alright, and then I have a whole box. I took it from Freddy. Not forever, but I low-key didn't want to store this in my backpack anymore. So yeah. And then I just found out from Tyson today that we have to make the thing actually work in Onshape. And I know that's a dumb question, but I can do it physically. I just can't do it like in Onshape, but that's the challenge I'm gonna overcome, okay?
And we'll help.
Yeah, they're gonna help me.
I could not get my automata to work.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to learn how to use the rotational stuff because I'm kind of goofy, but it's okay. No, bro. And then I have
Edit that out.
planned. I'm posting this. Just this. I'm gonna have 4. You're not happy. I'm gonna have 4 joysticks. And it seems like a lot, but I'm kind of excited because I'm biting off a lot to chew, but I'm really excited. And I'm speaking because we have the one recording, and then she's here for the vibes. Yeah.
Oh, well, no, I was in ISS. So I couldn't really do much.
That is true. But they're very good. They're very good at like building stuff and doing the aesthetics of it. And I love art and doing aesthetics, but I really want to learn the technical side of this project. Like I actually really want this thing to work. So I'm very committed to this. And I figured out that for the servos, I think I'm literally only gonna have to just place them differently. I know I'm still gonna have to code them, but I think the way I place them on the building is going to be what determines how it moves more than anything. But I don't know yet. That might be goofy to say. We'll find out in week 4. But yeah, that's all we've gotten done. Is it actually?
question. This is Tuesday of week 3. Currently I'm trying to wire. It looks really messy, but I'm just trying to get these servos to work. But we didn't vlog yesterday because we weren't really in this class that long because it's EOC week. However, I'm working on this. This was actually due already, I think for week 3, but I wasn't able to do it mainly out of just because these servos aren't labeled on here. It's kind of really hard to figure out what I'm supposed to be doing. That's the only part though, because I know how to wire everything else. So that's why I'm doing it here right now, rather than there, because I tried to do it up there for a second. And I'm gonna go back to that, but not right now. So right now I'm trying to wire these 4 servos to see if they'll work for the project, and I'm also trying to figure out how I'm going to get longer wires, because this is the length of the wires that I have, and I kind of need some longer ones. That way my project isn't going to be tied down really short, if that makes sense. It makes sense in my head. And then let me pull it up real quick. Oh. And also, there we go. I also have been taking really, I'm not gonna lie, tedious measurements of the servo. Like I've been having to do like circles of, there's actually a big circle and then it's smaller so that the screw can actually rest in there. But I've taken the sides of this. It's very tedious with this, but the reason is because the Onshape model is supposed to have it like working inside of it, and it's not working yet. But it's not for lack of trying, it's mainly just like, oh my god, am I not gonna get this up? Come on. Thought it opened something new, but it was that. There we go. Okay. So let's see. Yeah, this is the servo. I actually had to remake this because I had made like a simple servo just so that I could see it moving, but I decided I actually wanted to be like this in here. And I'm not gonna lie to you, this is kind of a trust the process thing because this looks wrong. It probably is, but I've measured it and put it in here every time, and it says that's the measurement. I'm not too sure. And I have to remake. This is a little connector piece, I think. Or no, this is the blade base. This is the circle part of this, and then I'm going to extend the triangles. I think I'm going to use 3 of these, the 2 blades, and then the last one's going to be 1 blade. That way the hand can like close and open. And I know how that's supposed to work. I just don't really want to think about it right now because it's going to be very difficult to figure out. But I know what it's supposed to do. And then in here, so I actually got these printed separately, but I decided to design these stem arm things just in here instead altogether. I figured out I had to make this hole because I want the joints to connect smoothly. I don't want them to be very blocky. So I'm going to like slide this in there and then it'll connect to the next thing and kind of spin like however it needs to do its job. But yeah, that's all I have done for week 2, and I'm very excited to learn the programming because this example that I'm using has the programming thanks to like a friend. She gave me this resource, Angel. This has the programming. I'm just not very sure. Like I can put it in there, don't get me wrong. I'm not sure
what all these things really do because it's been a while since I've coded. So I'm actually really excited to do this, and I'm actually really excited because I love electric parts. So yeah. And now that's all I have. So I put in lots of work this week. I was in here yesterday and Wednesday. We were in here for a short time. I think. I don't remember. Did we vlog?
Wait.
We didn't on Wednesday. I don't remember what happened Wednesday. It's EOC week. That's why.
No, we did. We
We
vlogged.
did?
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't here yesterday, so we didn't vlog. And it was EOC. Anyways, I put in a lot of work. I'm really loving this project. This was the original one. It looks very sad compared to what you just saw. But this was the inspo. And I've actually completed everything except for the arm part, which is the last thing, because I have all these redesigns because I kept running into problems, but that's why I like the project so much. This is our final design, which we're getting printed right now. This is the base arm, and these are the servos, and actually, we have part of it printed already. Where is... Oh, there it is. I was really worried that the size would not be right, but it actually is. Like, that is a great fit right there. And it's a little angle, I think it's because of the wires that are right here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm gonna be able to get them to stay without breaking off. But yeah, the fit is quite perfect, if I might say so myself. And this is this part on the top, and Mr. Phil is printing this. This spinning base, we're actually gonna have a servo. We're gonna have the wing off. The servo is going to be inside of it, and I thought to give it more support because I wanted to make it really tall. Like, I wanted that. That was just, it would be cool if I could. So, we're going to have a servo here. We're going to have this part connected to this round thing, and it will rotate accordingly with that. And I figured out that I didn't really like what I was going for last with my other stuff, so I needed, I redesigned the servo thing, so I'm actually making my own wings. I have flat ones, and then I have, is there a non-flat one? I know I'm using a non-flat one. I think I'm gonna use my own one of these, have it printed, because these, like, kind of concerning. Like, only because it's so tall, I'm worried about the weight. But yeah, basically, all of the 3D printing, all the 3D designing is practically done. This is my progress on the robot arm. I'm having a little bit of issues with this, only because I want it to, like, where's the paper? Actually, let me just search up the image. Let's see. There's an inspo picture, right? It's kind of like this. I'm kind of aiming for something like that. Like, I have the joints, if you see here and here, they're gonna connect, which this took a while to do. Look at that. I'm gonna have it slide in because I feel like it'd be more supportive if I did something like a slot like that. And I have a little piece that'll connect through it, like this. I do have it here. So I think I'm almost done with this. I just think it's really boxy. So what I'm gonna do, since this is the bottom and the top, I'm gonna create maybe, like, I don't want it to be flat. I might create like little, no, this isn't a good example. I might create little teeth in the edges, that way if it grabs onto something, it like can actually grab on, because I fear that it might be too slick if I do this. I might make these thinner, because I don't want it to be too heavy, but I'm also like, since this has been printed, it really isn't like too heavy. I know it's heavy, but it's not as heavy as I thought it'd be. It's relatively light, so I think this will be okay. I might make it thinner, but yeah, we basically finished the 3D modeling. I have base, what's another thing? I I figured out how to code. Actually, that's another thing. I have the coding for, where is it? Right here. I have the coding here. I wrote this out yesterday, and I'm just gonna input it into the IDE when I have more time in this class. And I figured out how to not have 4 joysticks, so now we're gonna have 2. And this is what our joystick box is gonna look like. And we have the back of it printed. This is for all the wires to go through and not interfere. So I did this like left, front, right, and the bottom. I think the bottom's part of it too. As one part, as one like assembly, yeah, I did. And then I did the top separately and the back separately. That way it prints like open the box and then I can put everything in it and then seal it up. The only thing I'm seeing now is it is smaller than I thought, but I think I can just get a smaller breadboard. Like I don't need the big one. I'm just I'm worried about organization. I think it'll look a little meh if but I think I can use it. It's okay. And my team members, one of them has been vlogging all these videos. She does not like being in the camera, but I put her in charge of that because I kind of suck at social media type stuff. So I had her log into my YouTube thing to post all these videos, and then the other person, I'm waiting to use their strength in assembling things. They're very good at assembling things. So I'm doing all this. I just want them to put it together because my brain is like fried. I'm not gonna lie. But I'm really excited. I think we did everything that's required for week 3. That I know of. Please turbo. All-type sketch. I actually did those. That's the criteria. I have to redo the decision matrix, but
If I do some of those when you switch, and then
high assembly codes.
do you get it?
I think. Wait, I'm kind of confused. We're on week 3 technically.
Yep.
But I'm at week 5, which week 5 is with these dates next week, but we as a class are here. So I don't know, but yeah. I've done this. I just have to do this IDE sketch. That's something I haven't done. I haven't started my portfolio entry, but it's mainly because I took screenshots of the process of all this. We have pictures, we have documentation. We just haven't started it yet because I've been really focused on this. But yeah, I think that's all the updates for this week. Next week we'll hopefully have it all printed, build. I'm gonna check the coding and hopefully it's right. If it's not right, it'll take some time. But they'll be able to put it together regardless. They don't need the turbos yet. I don't think. They shouldn't need them. But they should be able to put together most of it without it, and then I'll figure out the rest. And yeah.
Is it on?
It's on.
Oh. Okay, this vlog is gonna be our week 4, and it's going to include, since I already listed out what each week should do, assembly sketches, individual part sketches, tentative building materials, description of how we will complete each task. That, I'm assuming, I think I meant what task we're gonna choose for our robot to do, which I think we're gonna do possibly folding a piece of clothing, because that seems, it actually is harder than it seems for a robot to do. Assembly sketches. Rolling?
No, I paused it.
Oh.
Go back on.
Okay.
Okay.
Back to my philosophy. Assembly sketches. I of course already have done all of these. I wish I could. Hold on. Let me pull this real quick. Because I don't need it all. I've already done a whole bunch of assemblies for things, but since it's assembly sketches, it disappeared. Well, you saw for a split second what it's supposed to look like. There's a big arm here. We have to split it in half because it was too big to print. But that's okay, 'cause all we did was split it, like, it's still 12 inches. Split it directly in half and then printing it separately still. But we're gonna connect the big arm here. And basically, I don't know if this is gonna, oh, that's it. Hold on.
First, I would do the.
Wait, let me, okay. I want to do that in a second. But this is gonna be where a servo is. And it's going to spin, I want to say 180 at the very least. Yeah, it should spin 180 around. So the arm is going to be like this, and it's going to spin like that. And I decided on doing one less servo here because there's no reason to have another servo here, because all it's doing is, like, I'm going to spin, instead of having the servo here, I'm going to have two kind of on top of each other. There's one right here. And then this one. The purpose of this one is so that the hand can actually spin. The purpose of this one is so that the hand can close. And the reason I created my own wings like this flat is so that things could actually connect better rather than having like these little wings, because these aren't doing anything for anybody. But yeah, so this one is going to spin this servo. And I got to the point where I was like kind of confused on what I was doing. So this was the first idea. This is the one where I had a servo here, 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 and here. Yeah. This one originally had the servo on this end, and then I connected this here, and it went down. But I figured that would have done nothing for me because the arm would have like spinned. It would have spun like this. And that's not what I wanted. And I don't know why I didn't realize it at first. So I put that on paper and I was like, that's not a good idea. So then I moved on to this idea. And this seems like, what's it called? It seems like the concept sketches, but it's really not. For me, this was our assembly sketches because I changed the ideas multiple times. So then I moved on to this. What changed about this one is I created this little base right here where the base servo is actually going to hide inside. And it's going to connect to this big round thing, and it's going to spin the whole thing. Because not only does this give it more support for the arm to not like be flimsy and like move around too much, but also it's much easier to connect just the little white part of the servo into that and act like that's the big wing that rotates. So that's what changed about this one. I still had this idea of the other servo like moving it the way that I just talked about, but again, I didn't really. But this one was more of a cosmetic upgrade. And here I actually created the actual servos in Onshape, which was very tedious, I'm not gonna lie, very tedious. But then I figured out, I was thinking about like individual part sketches kind of thing. What the biggest thing that I really had to get on paper was how the arm was gonna work. I know this looks like it's just a bunch of arms, but this is where I decided the shape of it, and this is where I decided how I didn't want it to like kind of look. Here, I'm kind of deciding how I want the servo to connect to it, because I want the arm to kind of like go in and out. It's kind of like a claw machine, if anything. That's kind of what I think of it as. It's like a claw machine. However, the hardest part is going to get the servo wing. What I'm thinking is connecting some kind of like, I don't know if it's gonna be 3D. No, I think it has to be 3D printed, because if it's just a string, it's gonna be too flimsy. But I'm gonna have like some kind of solid part connected here to both arms, and I'm gonna create joints on the bottom on these two angles right here. So I'm gonna create these 3D printed things, and they're gonna connect down. And then there's going to be a string connected to that and to the servo arm. And so when the servo arm rotates around, it's going to open and close. That's going to be kind of the hardest thing that I still am. I know I should be thinking more about it, but I haven't thought about it that much yet. But everything else in the project is done. I don't even know what else I did. Oh yeah, here, this is another part sketch. So for... Was it? Yeah, the arm designs were my originals. Yes. So in these original arms, I just had them all solid. Like they're just completely solid, nothing special about them. But then I figured, I was like, I don't want it to be such a clunky arm because I already know that, I mean, this arm design isn't the best, but if anything, I'm kind of okay with the crane-like design. Like, I'm okay with it. I don't hate it, honestly. I kind of like it because it's the easiest for me. And I feel like this is the most weight effective too that we could have done. Because there's a lot of holes to create like the aerodynamics, of course, so that it actually moves, but also so it doesn't weigh down the servos. Because the servos, I'm really worried aren't going to be strong enough, which is why I, in the first place, created new servo like wings and arms. Like these, we have these. It's just, I feel like if it's 3D printed, it's going to be a little less flimsy. It's going to be stronger, so it'll be better in the long run. But anyways, onto this part sketch. For this, I decided I wanted to be a smoother connection, and so I created like holes in the side of these walls. And I know it's like, oh well, you're not really using it if it's just if you have like a whole square wing right here. I actually am using it because I'm gonna put the screw through there, and it's gonna hopefully keep them connected, and I can always like glue it in some way, in some capacity. But I did this because in the original, this just wasn't very pretty, to say the least. Like it's ugly, and it actually wasn't designed, like these servos aren't correct. Not really, at least. And so I decided here early on that I was going to create the hole so that it was a smoother connection, so that things weren't just on top of each other and glued to each other. Because originally that was my idea. Like I know here I do have the holes, but there was a point in this design process in the very beginning where I was just going to connect things to each other, like just on top of each other, rather than having them go into each other, so that it's like smoother. So that's what I was deciding here. This is my final design, and it's the one that we're gonna go with ultimately. And I know that this hand isn't here, so it's not very helpful, but we're just gonna have the base servo here, a long arm, and then it's going to be spinning. And hopefully the base can spin 360. I'm hoping. I mean, I don't think it shouldn't, but I'm really worried about the servo arm, and I'm going to create more sketches as well. Specifically the arm, because I do have some of the arm, not this one. Where is it? This one. I have some of this design. So these are the joints that I'm talking about. And I know this is in another vlog as well, I think, but this is really important for this, because this is like the last thing. I'm gonna have these slide into each other, yeah, like this, and then I have the little connector part so that they move like that. The only problem with this is, since I had designed like this little part sketch, I don't know if I want to keep the joint here on these ankles, only because I would probably have to design another set of this, except here, something like that, so that it actually connects and like moves that way, because I don't know how to be most efficient about that. So I might remove this, honestly, and I might just do a joint here, but I'll still do it the same way that I already did. I'll just move it down, and I think I'll keep these arms angled in like this, and then I also want to design like some grooves or something so that it has somewhat of a grip. And I might even, I know sanding it would create some friction, some form of friction. I'm probably also going to do like maybe some rubber of some kind, if I can find any, so that it actually gets a grip of like what we're trying to do. And I don't know if I've already said this, so you're gonna tell me. Alright, bro. You're gonna tell me if I've already done this or if I've already said this, but what are you doing, bro?
You in the camera?
I want to be in the vlog.
Okay, hi. Here, say hi.
Hey, so I've been, mentally preparing to build the robot.
Did you say you're sleep preparing?
Did I say that?
what it
I
sounded
thought I
like.
said I've been preparing.
I heard mentally preparing.
Yeah, mentally preparing.
I heard sleep preparing.
Maybe that too, honestly. I don't know.
All right.
Back to Araceli.
Alright, bro. Well, that was what I was gonna say. She's gonna be in charge of building it because after all this designing, I really don't want to build this. And like, I don't mind designing all this. This has actually been fun. And I know it's like, oh, you took over the project. I kind of like doing this kind of thing, designing in CAD and working on the measurements and all the technicalities. I've had Leora doing the social media side, but also she's been submitting assignments because without her, none of this would be submitted.
And I like to build.
Yeah, she's gonna build it because after all this again, after all the designing, I really don't want to touch it again. Like, I'm okay with just, what are you doing? I'm okay with putting the servos into the build.
Yeah, you got it.
And doing that, and I can program, but I don't want to like have to do all the gluing. I don't want to have to do any of that. So that's why I prioritized more doing these assemblies. When they know how it's supposed to look. It's missing
What's the rest of it?
It's just missing an one. But yeah.
We had to split it in half. It was too big to print.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know anything about that?
It being too big? Yeah.
Oh,
Freak, bro.
on the vlog is insane. I'm just saying.
And then I'm sure I'm gonna vlog again. I'm sure we'll vlog again for tomorrow, for week 4, and we'll say that. Or I think I'm gonna make more sketches for the part in assembly because I mostly did the sketches in CAD, and I realized that I should probably do more on paper. I have been doing some on paper, just not as much. So I'm gonna take this afternoon to draw more, and yeah, I think that's all for now.
All right.
I'm sanding this because it was like really rough and it was like really chopped. And once I sand it, I'm gonna sand the whole thing so we can paint it. So like I was saying, it looks really rough right now, but I'm gonna sand the whole thing and we're gonna paint it since I made it look really bad. And this was supposed to be the piece that it like spun in, and it does move, but it doesn't move smooth enough. So Araceli is now sending it to Tyson to print, and it gets like stuck in there. And I tried sanding the inside, and they were trying sanding the
I added 3,300 degree of freedom, like Mr. Tyson told me, because I didn't leave enough for it. So we're working on wire this and get the spend more time on this guy so that we actually get it done. And then this weekend, next week, we can just that it's done, but I'm not sure.